everyone. So I have another video. This is my main video of the week. You already saw my bonus one if you are subscribed to my main channel, but you might be watching this on DIS's channel because this is another study abroad related video. I am in the core course Sustainable Development in Northern Europe. At my home university, I am minoring in sustainability. Otherwise, I am studying fashion design. So I come into this sustainability class here with the perspective of a fashion major. Not gonna lie, sometimes it's pretty hard to relate. I took a just completely sustainability focused class at my home university, aside from a graduate level class that was more about sustainable development in apparel related fields mostly, as well as an honors seminar that was about sustainable architecture. But it seems anytime I take a class that is just sustainability, I am extra challenged. I don't know why, but it's interesting nonetheless, and it is of course important information to learn because the apparel industry is the second most polluting industry in the world. So I like taking what I can from other industries and what's going on in them and consider how it can be applied to the world of apparel. But yeah, with that being said, my core course, usually we spend the first half of class talking about current events related to sustainability. I'm gonna say the word sustainability a lot in this video. I am sorry. Otherwise, we dive deeper into some other aspects of it, but this video is going to be more like the first half of our classes, where I'm just going to be touching on some quick little things that I have learned related to sustainable development in Northern Europe. Some that I've learned in class, some that I have just observed. This isn't going to be that scary of a video, I promise. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, I'll try to link the article for this one, but Denmark actually has the highest share for organic foods in the world, or at least of the 178 countries that were in the report that was in this article. So that just goes to show that organic food is really, really important here in Denmark, which I have noticed personally shopping. I see it integrated a lot more throughout the stores. When I'm shopping in the United States, a lot of the times in more traditional grocery stores, things are kind of separated. So if you want organic, you go to the like health food organic section. If you just don't care, you just go to the normal section. I will say when I shop at places like Target, everything seems to be mixed up pretty well, which I appreciate, but for the most part, it's not. So, however, my only gripe that I have, because I gotta make a gripe because I'm Tara, would be the amount of packaging that is on just produce here in general. When I shop at a place like Netto or Foodtex, it's kind of hard shopping as a single person because everything is already wrapped up in plastic for you, and it's way too much food, in my opinion, in those. Sorry, I have a pen because I've got my little notes here. Everything is wrapped up and it's just too many. Like if I need just 2 carrots, you get a big thing of carrots. The only things that are okay is like broccoli, zucchini, that sort of stuff, but it's still wrapped up in packaging. So I just wish I could see less packaging in sort of mainstream grocery stores here. But that's not necessarily related to being organic, but that's just an observation I wanted to make because although some stuff has packaging in the United States, for the most part, if you go to just a traditional grocery store, you can buy like 1 apple or 1 whatever, whereas here it's kind of nearly impossible, at least the places I'm going to. Maybe I'm going to the wrong places. Please let me know. Number 2, biking infrastructure works so well in Copenhagen and Amsterdam because it's actually infrastructure. A lot of places in the United States, Des Moines included, that's where I'm from, Des Moines, Iowa, they like to paint a stripe down the road and call it a bike lane, which does not solve a whole lot of problems. It doesn't make bikers feel safer. It doesn't make people want to bike more. Actually investing in the infrastructure makes people want to bike more. And something about the street order here, that sounds weird, but hear me out. The way the lanes are arranged on the road here makes it a lot safer for bikers. So this is like the road where cars go. This is an area where cars can park. This is the bike lane, and this is the sidewalk. Whereas a lot of the times in the United States, you'll see this is the this is the lane where the bikes. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. This is the lane where the cars drive. This is the painted stripe lane where the bikes ride. Here's the parking for the cars. Here's the sidewalk. So bikers are just thrown in there right next to the traffic. And if cars need to park, they're gonna like get in the way, if they're trying to turn. It's just a mess. So I really appreciate everything I noticed being here, being in Amsterdam, and of course there's other cities in Europe that have really great bike infrastructure as well, but these are the ones that I've experienced. Kind of going along with that last point, but different in its own way. Third thing I learned is that the tax for buying a new car here in Denmark is 180%, which is disgustingly crazy, but that's, I guess, a good thing because it does keep cars off the road. People will just bike here or take public transport instead. That's what I do. Obviously, I wouldn't be driving here anyway, but I'm just saying if I lived here, I certainly would not want to drive a car here. One, just because they don't prioritize cars as much here. They really don't want people driving that much. So like I already said, they put most of their money into biking as well as public transportation. But with that, we're starting to have kind of a discussion in one of my classes. Is it better to keep these sort of inefficient cars on the road? Because by having that tax, people are going to drive their cars until they die. So you see some really old cars on the road here, which is so interesting. It really kind of juxtaposes the sort of very new, contemporary, sleek vibe that Copenhagen has going for it. And, you know, aesthetics aside, obviously those cars are emitting some pretty gross chemicals, but someone also said that it's actually better just to keep old cars on the road because the whole turnover rate of bringing in new cars is more energy intensive, resource intensive, etc. So I don't really have an answer for that. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys know more about that, I would be interested to hear more. Fourth thing is a real quick thing, and I actually haven't researched it that much, but it was just one of my observations. They have Tesla taxis in Stockholm, and apparently they have them in other cities too, but Stockholm was my firsthand experience seeing that, and I just thought that was so interesting. And the fifth thing I learned is something I learned pretty early on, but it's that Denmark incinerates their trash, which is something I actually got experience with a little bit being in Ames, Iowa. That graduate level sustainability theory discussion, whatever class I took, we went and toured a place that burns trash in Ames, although that is not the primary waste disposal option or energy source option in Iowa or in Ames. But seeing what they're doing there kind of made me feel a little bit better about burning trash, because you hear the term burning trash and you're like, that doesn't sound good. But they just kind of showed that it's safe, it's better because you're burning everything down to ash, and well, okay, this is kind of weird. So it had to go into a landfill in Iowa just because of legislation. They would not allow it to be scattered across the ground so it could decompose really quickly, although it would decompose quickly if we were allowed to do that. Whatever, that's beside the point, that's a whole other thing. But since that was going into landfills instead, that's way better than having this big, bulky, solid trash filling up mountains of landfills in the United States. So I would much rather have just a little layer of ash going in instead. But anyway, with that aside, coming into Denmark, hearing that that's what they do here, I was not super opposed to that. However, something I've heard from kids who live in homestays here is that although most people in Copenhagen are pretty environmentally conscious, a lot of the families that people are living with don't care so much. Of course, Copenhagen's goal is to not be burning recyclable materials, but that's just gonna happen, I guess. I did read something today though that said by 2020, 50% more household waste will be recycled instead of incinerated. So it seems that they're gonna start moving away from burning trash here. So I don't know, that was just some interesting stuff that I thought of there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a quick one, I think, as long as I didn't ramble too much. But let me know what you guys think about sustainability in Denmark, in Northern Europe in general, in the United States. We could have a little discussion. Thank you all very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.